What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The U.S. House has proposed a bill that would provide $500 million in military financing to Taiwan. The package would also offer Taiwan up to $2 billion in loans for defense purposes and set aside funds for U.S. security interests in the Indo-Pacific. The bill hasn't been approved yet, but officials say it demonstrates that the U.S. will protect its interests and show solidarity with its allies. Taiwan says 19 Chinese military aircraft were spotted operating around the country on Monday. 17 of those aircraft, along with 8 naval ships, crossed into Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. This area is used by the military for defensive purposes, but is not sovereign territory. Some of the aircraft came within 42 nautical miles from the north of Taiwan. Tensions in the Taiwan Strait have increased since the inauguration of President Lai Ching-te on May 20th. An exhibition in Taipei is marking the 35th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre and a continuing global fight for freedom and democracy. Reese Ayers has this report.
A tower of twisted bodies. This replica of Danish artist Yen Galshot's Pillar of Shame, currently on display in Taipei, pays tribute to those who lost their lives fighting for freedom throughout history, like the democracy protesters in Beijing in the early summer of 1989. June 4th marks the 35th anniversary of the day China's government sent in troops to quash student-led protests that had occupied Tiananmen Square for a month and a half. Those students were calling for, among other things, freedom and democracy, rights that have been eroded in China and beyond in the decades since.
Most people think June 4th happens back in 1989 and then basically ended on June 4th. But the reality is not. Look at what happened in Tibet, look at what happened in Xinjiang, look at what happened in Hong Kong, and look at what is happening right now in Taiwan.
Casey Huang is one of 18 artists featured at the Life, Death, Preserve, Forgotten exhibition in Taipei, displaying works about the threats facing freedom and democracy across the world. Huang's work includes a performance piece, filmed over several years, that seeks to preserve the painful memories of the bloody crackdown on the Tiananmen protesters.
Every year on the eve of June 3rd and June 4th, I would ride a bicycle as if I'm the ghost from 1989, a messenger telling people that the People Liberation Army are coming to kill us and we should defend it.
Huang fled Hong Kong for Taiwan a number of years ago, fearing for his safety as China tightened its grip on the once more liberal territory through a series of crackdowns and national security laws.
I escaped Hong Kong and came to Taiwan because I'm searching for the freedom of artistic expression. Unfortunately, that is no longer possible in Hong Kong.
As for Hong Kong's own Pillar of Shame statue, it was torn down in 2021, a symbol of Beijing's campaign to silence critics of the Communist Party. Now, Taiwan remains the only Chinese-speaking country to host significant public memorials and vigils in remembrance of June 4th, 1989.
觉得挺难得的，因为香港现在这些话题都不太能谈论了，现在都很敏感。
台湾人很努力去守护住这些珍贵的民主还有自由。
The Life, Death, Preserve, Forgotten exhibition runs until June 13th at the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall in Taipei. The same spot a massive vigil in remembrance of the Tiananmen Square massacre will take place on the evening of the anniversary. Justin Wu, Sandy Chi and Reese Ayers in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's most valuable company, TSMC, has new leadership. The firm has confirmed a new chair and board of directors, and many in the tech world are expecting a smooth transition. Still, the stakes are high as the firm continues to expand both at home and abroad. Joyce Sung reports.
A new chapter for the world's leading contract chipmaker and Taiwan's largest company. TSMC has officially been handed over to CEO C.C. Wei, succeeding Mark Liao as the company's chair as Liao retires. Liao presided over the annual general meeting for the last time, taking questions from investors and appearing more lighthearted, dodging difficult questions by passing them to Wei.
那至于什么时候被赶上，我想那个我想 CC 也不用回答了，不太可能。
The two have led the firm through a global chip shortage and tripled its market value since 2018, turning the Taiwanese firm into a household name worldwide. Now, Wei is pledging to keep customer confidence in the firm's ability to provide industry-leading tech.
有目标地执行全球制造主机策略，以支持客户成长，以增加他们的信任。
Wei faces a monumental task to lead the main chip supplier for hundreds of firms, including tech giants Apple and Nvidia, all while it expands operations in Taiwan and abroad to meet growing demand for advanced chips. Now, looming over this year's general meeting is TSMC's struggles in the U.S. state of Arizona. It's pledged $65 billion into the desert state to open 3 advanced chip fabs, but clashing with American workers over cultural differences, construction has dragged on. But addressing this project here today, leaders say that like any business venture, there is a learning curve, and that TSMC intends to overcome its challenges in the desert state as well. Unlike at its first Japan fab, which opened in February after less than 2 years of construction, industry analysts say TSMC's top-down management style is working against it in Arizona.
Part of the damage done now is that because of the history of the last few years in Arizona, TSMC now has a terrible reputation among American workers. I don't see any signs so far that they think that they need to rethink how they approach labor, at least for the Arizona plant.
TSMC's Arizona site is slated to house some of the firm's most advanced tech outside Taiwan, while it faces a tense geopolitical situation and pressure to diversify to secure global chip supplies. Meanwhile, as global tech leaders hail a new era of artificial intelligence in computing, which requires cutting-edge chips like TSMC's, industry analysts say another challenge for TSMC's new leadership is to decide how many eggs to put in the AI basket.
Everybody believes that there's a lot of money to be made. There is a possibility that this is all just a bubble. Right, there is because nobody has shown that you can actually make money yet using AI applications.
At such a pivotal time for tech, stakes are high for a smooth transition at TSMC. In the parting words of outgoing chair Liao, whether it's in Arizona or Japan, TSMC will continue to learn and adapt to keep providing leading-edge chips to the world. Chris Ma and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
President Lai says he has high hopes for the future of AI in Taiwan.
让台湾成为人工智慧岛，这个目标可以实现。我也很希望我们今天企业界也能够支持政府。
Lai made the statement in a speech at the opening ceremony for Computex, Taiwan's largest consumer electronics show. He says Taiwan has already become a pillar in AI innovation, and that his government will help bolster the country's AI industry by stabilizing the power supply, building more supercomputers, and cultivating tech talent. The Legislature has passed 2 bills on regenerative medicine, a branch of medicine that includes cell and gene therapies. The move follows 9 years of lobbying to make these treatments widely available in Taiwan. The new laws limit these therapies to medical institutions, meaning private companies may not offer them. They also protect donors from having their cells taken forcibly and ban the use of fetal cells. Most new therapies need to go through human trials in Taiwan before official approval, but cell and gene therapies will be allowed in the case of serious illness with no other options. Do you like your wine dry, sweet, or something more exotic? Those who aren't sure can turn to a sommelier for guidance. I met one such wine expert from Taiwan who went abroad to cultivate her skills and reach the very top of her profession. Traditionally, a sommelier is a wine expert, someone who can evaluate the nearly infinite varieties of wine on the market and pair them with the perfect dish. But the job has since evolved to accommodate changing tastes.
It's not only for wine, it's including everything, even the water, even the tea.
Leslie Liu is from Nantou County in central Taiwan. She moved away from home to become a sommelier, eventually going overseas to pursue excellence in her craft. Leslie has worked in Taipei, Taichung, and Shanghai. She now lives in Singapore, where she is head sommelier at Odette, one of the highest-rated restaurants in the world with 3 Michelin stars. Leslie's background is in international trade, but she realized her outgoing nature wasn't compatible with a job staring at a screen all day.
I think my personality is quite outgoing, talkative, so I feel a little bit boring if I only look into the sheets and also looking at the computer, talking to the things which is no emotion.
One of Leslie's mentors told her she needed to move away from Taiwan if she wanted to go far in her field.
I work in Lemu in Taichung, and which is a female chef called Chen Lanshu. So actually, she is the first one to tell me if you want to become a international recognized sommelier, you have to leave Taiwan because you have zero experience.
She took that advice and ran a long way with it. Leslie is currently the only woman from Taiwan with an advanced certification from the Court of Master Sommeliers. The UK-based organization has 4 levels of certification: introductory, certified, advanced, and master, a level only a few have ever attained. And Leslie is determined to join their hallowed ranks. Aside from her day job, she commits herself to studying for the master exam.
I still study every day. No matter how late I finish at work, I still need to wake up at 7:05. Then 7:30, I need to sit in front of my desk. Then start to study. Then study for 1 hour.
The Master Sommelier test is thorough. It's not just about putting pen to paper, but it's also about being able to derive specific information from a single sip of wine.
Blind testing is very tricky part. That in the end, you need to get the conclusion is like where this wine come from, what is the varietal, what is the vintage, what is the climate.
At any given time, Leslie has to keep track of up to 1,000 different wines at the restaurant. But once you see her work, you come to realize she's exactly the kind of person you want doing your wine pairing.
Actually, you have a lot of it's much more fruit driven, and it's not really light as your strawberry. It's a little bit more like blueberry, hints of the mulberry, hints of the tannin. You can feel for the earthiness, such as hints of the mushroom. I think the temperature right now will be slightly more chill. I think it will, if you warm up a little bit, you have a much more flavor. This is the one usually I can think about to enjoy with probably root vegetable, such as the beetroots.
But Leslie's strengths aren't just her ability to decide what wine would go good with a roast pigeon. Odette's head of wine says her ability to connect with people is what makes her shine.
And what I've seen her form in terms of relationships, in terms of friendships with all our guests, is something that I don't think you find in a lot of sommeliers around the world.
Leslie must wait 2 years before she can make her bid to become a master sommelier. If successful, she will join that prestigious few who number only in the hundreds, a group where even fewer of its members are women. Her goal is to not only inspire the next generation, but also make headway as a pioneering woman, leaving a legacy that ages, well, like a fine wine. Eason Chen, Howard Zhang, Harel Hughes, and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus. And we'd like to thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out this seasonal market in Algeria. It's part of an effort to keep the country's ancient traditions alive, with visitors dressing up in traditional garb and watching live performances. I'm Leslie Liao. Take care and see you next time.